Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 333 News. I'm your news anchor, Wario, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing your full and detailed forecast for Winter Storm Indigo. Winter Storm Indigo is expected to bring a few inches of snow to southern New England, and also along the east coast of the United States, upwards from Delaware, so yeah. Now, before we get into our forecast, we have a brief interview with Venus City Administrator Homer J. Simpson on a new ongoing project in Venus City, so we're going to go ahead and get that over with first. Over to you, Homer. Alright, thank you, Wario. Alright, here I am. I'm Venus City Administrator Homer J. Simpson, and I'm currently in my office, and I would just like to talk about a little project that we're working on, and hopefully this is going to be airing this weekend in another episode of 333 News, as Wario will be pointing out, hopefully. So, yeah. Currently working on a project in Venus City. Kind of just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm going to try and make this quick. We are currently, as I have made 2 new regulations in Venus City, one of them regarding more energy efficiency, the quadruple E clause, which is basically we're going to be having wind turbines at the coast and solar farms inland. That way we can maximize energy generation and efficiency. And the other one is a Residential Street Lighting Act, RSLA to be short. And we're going to be doing some different light fixtures for residential areas. That way, you know, well, they're going to be lower wattage and everything. They're going to be more friendly for residential areas. And speaking of residential areas, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. We are constructing a brand new neighborhood in Venus City. Construction is underway, and it should be finished later tonight. And hopefully you'll be able to get a look at it this weekend. That's all that I need to say. Hopefully I didn't take up too much of your time. And let's get back to the news and the storm forecast. Back to you, Wario. Alright, thank you, Homer. Okay, with that interview out of the way, and that sounds like an interesting project that he's working on, let's go ahead and get to your storm forecast with Donkey Kong in the meteorology studio. Donkey Kong is going to go ahead and give you all the details. Over to you, Donkey Kong. Alright, welcome to the meteorology studio. I'm Donkey Kong, your meteorologist, and today we're going to be doing some meteorology in the meteorology studio because we have yet another winter storm, going by the name of Indigo this time. I don't know why it's decided to color itself like that, but whatever. Let's get started with your current conditions here, and right now what we're looking at is 29 degrees with cloudy skies, and depending on where you are, if you're like at the immediate coast, you might see a few snow flurries from ocean effect snow later tonight, so keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, it's generally cloudy everywhere you are. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to our map and radar screen. Okay, what we're going to start off with here is our 24-hour future radar. And first of all, what you'll be able to note right off the bat is we're not going to be able to get entirely through the storm on the 24-hour run here because it's still going to be going on by tomorrow night going into Saturday. So, yeah, the storm impact time is going to be quite lengthened. But what you are able to note is a pretty wide area of snow. However, the heavy snow is only going to be contained really exclusively to the coast and not really anywhere else because even though the storm is large, it is very, very weak. So that heavy precipitation is really going to be limited on where it's going to happen. Even though there's going to be some widespread snowfall, the heavier snowfall is only going to happen right at the coast. So yeah. And of course, there will be no mixing issues at all this time because what we're actually going to be noticing is a cool down being brought on by the storm. So, yeah, we're going to keep an eye out for that, and I'll discuss more about it in just a bit. Alright, that was your radar, and now let's go ahead and look at the snow total forecast. So, there's your snow total forecast. What you'll notice, Indigo is going to be a very, very coastal system, and as we talked about that widespread area of snow, you'll see there is, of course, a widespread area that can get a trace of snow, so lots of blues there you can see. But anywhere in the green, which is going to be 1 to 3 inches, it's very, very limited. It's just going to be along the coast. Maybe a few inland spots will get that, and there's also a little bit of green by Lake Ontario as well from lake effect snow. So you can keep an eye out for that too, but any snow that's above an inch is going to be limited to those areas, as you can see. And we even have a few yellow spots of 3 to 6 inches in some spots by the coast, like southeastern New Jersey, spots of Delaware and Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and southeastern Massachusetts. Those are going to be the only places that can be seeing more than 3 inches and up to 6 inches because this storm is going to be generally light. So, yeah, not a lot of snow to go around. Now, as for your wind and power outage threats, they are non-existent. So we do not have a wind map or a power outage map because they would just be blank maps if we had those today. So we're going to be going right past those, and we're going to go to your threat levels now. E. Alright, so here are your threat levels. For the threat levels here, snow is going to be a level 2 threat. We have light to moderate snow, which can cause some travel disruption, but snow is going to be limited because it will generally be very light, sometimes moderate in some areas, but other than that, really not going to be a whole lot of snow. It's just going to be a few inches here and there. So yeah. Next up, your travel concerns threat, which kind of coincides with the snow threat. Also a level 2 because temperatures are consistently going to be cold enough for snow to stick on the roads, and that can cause some travel problems. So be careful out there, especially if you're going to be traveling Friday evening into Saturday morning. So if you are going to be traveling, I highly recommend doing it before the hours of 4 p.m. on Friday because by then the snow is probably going to be on the roads as it starts falling. So yeah, any travel that you have planned for tomorrow, I would do it in the morning hours when travel is still going to be a-okay. Otherwise, you might be facing some problems later on. Next up, our wind threat is a level 0 because winds are going to be light for every area for the storm here. There are no areas expected to have 30 plus mile an hour wind gusts whatsoever. Winds will be light throughout the storm, so wind threat is a level 0. Don't have to worry about the wind at all. Now, when we get to the wind chill, right below that, that's a different story. Wind and wind chill are two different things because wind chill is how much the wind chills you. Wind chill is going to be a level 2 because overnight temperatures are going to be falling into the teens and possibly the single digits in some areas, which is going to make it very cold feeling combined with those light winds. Even though the winds are light, it's still going to feel very cold because some Arctic air is going to be following Winter Storm Indigo. So it's going to be very cold going into the night. So that makes wind chill a level 2 threat. Be aware of that if you're going to be going outside in the evening hours on Friday or the morning hours on Saturday, because it's going to get very cold. Alright, with those threat levels out of the way, let's go ahead and get to your 7-day forecast. Here is your 7-day forecast. Let's start out with tomorrow. Friday, we're going to be looking at 31 degrees as a high, 13 for a low, and snow, of course, because, well, that storm's going to be moving through. It's going to be bringing some widespread bits of snow everywhere, so yeah. Then we move to Saturday. Your high is going to be 21, and the low is only going to creep up by like 1 degree Fahrenheit, and it's going to be cloudy, so yeah. We got a cold weekend ahead of us, and some snowy and cloudy conditions. That's the moral of the story here. On Sunday, it's going to be sunny, 29 degrees, so it'll warm up a little bit on Sunday, but that Arctic air isn't going to be out of here until Monday, so it's still going to be pretty cold. If I turn around here, on Monday, it's going to be 40 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So that Arctic air will finally be out of here by then, and hopefully everything will be good to go. However, yeah, we might be seeing that return in the future, but for now, it looks like after this Arctic event is out of here, you'll be getting some relief. Alright. Anyways, on Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies, 40 degrees. Not looking too bad, similar to Monday, but there's going to be some more clouds in the sky. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be 43 degrees with a possible wintry mix. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for mostly rain, but possibly a snow flurry. It really depends on the timing. And then next Thursday, we're going to be looking at 47 degrees and some showers. Now, with that being said, that's going to do it for your 7-day forecast, and that is your full and detailed forecast for Winter Storm Indigo. Hopefully you're all prepared for this negligible event, really, because it's only going to be a few inches of snow, so, you know, just don't travel while the snow is falling and you'll be okay. That's kind of all you have to do to prepare for it. In any case, that is everything I've got for you today. Back to you, Wario. Right, thank you, Donkey Kong. So, yeah, overall, this storm is going to be not a major event. It's just going to be a little bit of snow here and there, and that's just going to be cause for travel concerns, followed by an Arctic blast, which is going to be cause for wind chill concerns. It's going to be similar to the winter storm we had earlier this week, which we did not cover because we saw no threats coming out of it, and we were pretty correct about that. It was just a little bit of snow, which later on ended up mostly melting in some areas as the rain-snow line moved north. So, with that being said, that's going to do it for today's episode. thanks for tuning in. Once again, I'm your news anchor Wario, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Wario out.